Hi guys, and welcome to take two of the philosophy of reading tag created by Brandon's bookshelf and that I saw first on Steve Dogny's channel. Why take two? Well, some of you may have already seen me answer to these questions, but for some damn reason the sound was corrupted, it was really low, I don't know why, I don't know what happened. A friend of mine was like, hey, have you listened to your own video? I'm like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I talked a lot on that video, and for some reason, my brain half froze in the middle, and some questions were a little bit muddled. So I even have like one more. This gave me one more day to think a little bit better on the questions, or on the answers for said questions. So I hope I answer better because I had a little bit more time to think about this and wasn't just going on the fly. And I also watch a little bit more videos of people answering this because I wasn't understanding what some of the questions were, and I was like, and then I was like, okay, my brain was just right. This is understandable. And now the moment where if Steve ever will pick this video is now running out the door. Bye, Steve. Here's a cat. Here's Sakura, my little one. She saw me talking and she's like, yeah, she has to be talking to me about me because she's the star here. Anyway, can you please behave like a lady? This is going out there. Stop putting your ass up. Her booty. Anyway, let's get into the questions and not make this video way too long because it was super long before. Let's try to get this under 40 minutes because it was over that. Anyway, first question, what is most important, a good character, plot, or message? I don't care about the message, I want plot and character. I'm gonna say both plot and characters. I really don't care about the message. Books can not have a message at all, can just have the story and you can still learn lots about it and stuff. Lots about lots of stuff basically. So I don't care about it. But the plot and the characters need to be interesting, so those two. I cannot choose between those two. I mean, question number 2: should one read books about ideas and opinions they disagree with? Yes, of course. How the hell would you know the other side if you are only feeding your own side? That makes no sense. You have to get the information about both sides, or else how would you even engage with the other side of whatever it is that you disagree with? It would make no sense. Plus, another vision of the topic by a person that has a different opinion of you can make you change your own opinion of it or be a little bit more flexible about it. You never know. Question number 3. As tech advances, what do you think will be the role of books? Vacuums were invented. We still have brooms. So, books will still be a thing, will still be important, and still be good, still be used, will still be important, like I said already. If anything, you'll be even more available, easier to read. For example, for me, it's easier, even though I love holding a book, feeling the book, and seeing the pages move, and feeling that the pages are less in one side and one another as I go. I read much better, much faster on my Kindle, where I can put like the dyslexic font that I don't remember the name, but it's made for dyslexic people, and I can change sizes and spacement, and it makes it even better for me, so my brain can actually look at that and read at the speed that cannot read in most mass market paperbacks, for example. So books will just get even more available for people, and I hope cheap, even though That sometimes doesn't happen, but there's already lots of books that are free, and if you have connection anywhere and Kindle, a phone or a laptop, you have access to lots of books, or you go to a place that has connection, you download them, and you go to that one place that you don't have connection, and bam, you still have lots of books on your device, hundreds of books, so it's amazing. And I think books will just continue being a thing and still continue being very important. Number 4, how important are summaries, reviews, and art in your book of choosing? Summaries I don't care for. Reviews, there's people, if you are talking in a professional sphere, there's people that I take their word a little bit more than others, like Steve and Olive from a book Olive, and other ones that don't have like a YouTube video, but I'm still learning names of reviews out there, reviewers, and being familiar with it. So I have some that I kind of like, but I still finding exactly what I most love about it. And art, it's always a plus. But this is as a person that wants to be a reviewer and a person that illustrates books. It is a little bit, how to say, a bad review will make me read a book just as fast as a very good review. And I will read a book independently if it has art or not. The art is a bonus. I will say that I will make an effort, even though I buy most of my books secondhand, I will look for the ones that have art in it. If I like the art, I'm very, very picky. But they help, but it's not the whole thing, because at the end of the day, I still want to read all the books that exist, so it is what it is. 5. Should one ever skim or scan a book? No, why would you? Why? Why would you? No, we don't. You just read the book. If you don't like it, you don't read it. If you started, you don't like it, just put it down and get another. I don't see why. Anyway. 6. Should reading always be enjoyable? Yes. Even if you disagree with the book, even if you are fighting with the book. It's the first time I did this tag, I said that I was hate reading a book. Or angry reading, not hate reading. Angry reading a book. But I was having a ball. It was so bad that it was good to just keep seeing how that all of that would end. So I was having a ball. Reading a book should always be enjoyable. What else? Why would you read if you are not enjoying it? You can argue, and you should probably argue with the writer, with the plot, with the characters, with everything. But have fun in it. And even bad books sometimes are really enjoyable, just because of you watching that train wreck happening and you're like, is it really? Oh my god, they did this, they went there, and then you keep reading to see if they just continue that, and it's amazing. I love it. So yeah, it should always be enjoyable. 7. Is it important to be well read? I'm not sure. Like, going for well read, being a person that has read a little bit of everything, a little bit of history, a little bit of nonfiction, of lots of kinds, a little bit of nature reading, a little bit of the classics, a little bit of everything, basically. It is a good thing, and I think that is a thing that most of us are achieving. And I know I'm glowing, but we're just gonna go with it. Anyway, I think it is a good thing. I think it is a goal for many people, but if it's not your goal, it's not important. It's one of those things that, yeah, you just have to. I think more important than be well read, it's having awareness of where you are in terms of being a reader. Exactly. Do you read just one category, just one very specific thing? Then you have to have that in acknowledgement when you are talking to other people, or when you are reading the books, or just engaging with the community, and just be humble. Even if you have read lots of things, just be humble. So yeah, just, I don't think being well read is important. I think that it's important to be civil with each other and know that what you have read and what you have not, have an idea about it. Yeah, let's go with that, because this was one of those questions that made me go in circles the other time. Where was I? Oh, number 8. What is your book buying process? I buy most secondhand, and I go for the very cheap ones because I really like to read, and I read a lot and I want to read everything. So basically, I go for the cheap ones, or the places that I know that have the cheaper ones. Well, I have one or a couple of dealers that they aren't that cheap, that like they're cheap, but I buy like specific things that I already want to read. But most of the time, I go to those where they're cheap. And have I read it? No. Do I feel prepared to tackle it? Yes. Does this book is like well enough conserved, or that I can read it without it completely falling apart and maybe keeping it? Yes. Uh, is it has a font that I can read without taking a billion years because dyslexia? Yes. If I answer all of that, yes. Well, not the first one. I just buy it and read it. Even if I don't know exactly what the book is about, I mean, the story. I want to read everything. I have a certain idea that I should probably read a bit more of certain topics before going for the big non-fictions about those topics. Should start small. So that's the only thing I have in consideration. But then just mostly go for everything, and now I'm shining even more. Can we stop the no? That's worse. Please, shiny, go away. Oh, no. Let's go with this one. This is a sign that we need to go faster. So, how how do you use what you read? I don't go for reading in search of usable things for my life. I go for entertaining and learning, but even though learning is not looking for like information to apply directly in my life, I think that we learn things from reading that improve our lives, but it's just a process that happens on the background as we are living our lives. We don't apply it that directly, if you know what I mean. So I don't have a real answer for this one. This is the only one that I cannot wrap my hand around. Number 11. If you could download a book to your brain, would you still read? Well, this is implying that I would still know everything about that book. I had the story. It didn't just download it and sit it there and open it. I open it and I have read it at high speeds in my brain. I will still read. I would still pick a book and read, because that's relaxing and it's a moment with myself and the characters of that book and being in that world, and that cannot be achieved by having a book downloaded to my brain. So yeah, that will be my answer to that. Number 12. What are your views on rereading a book? Yep, it's good. Just reread it. We probably all should reread more books, because we gain we learn more about it the second way around. We find more things that we haven't found, and it's just fun, and it's safe, and it's cozy, and you should reread. And yeah, that's my answer. Oh my god, are we still? Have I? Okay, for a moment I thought I would have done close the video. I'm sorry, this is going to chaos. Anyway, let's keep going. Where we were, rereading. What makes a book good? Well, I also went a little bit all over the place on the other one, but basically it is well crafted, well researched, and the author is doing his job as an author to inform you and entertain you, and not just look at you from a pedestal and throw you nuggets of information that you are to apply and do what you will with it. If he's doing that, not good, but if he is doing his job and going with you, entertaining you, and making you learn, I think it is all the signs that the book is good. The next question is, what makes a book bad? So, not well crafted, not well researched, and the author has an attitude that I don't vibe with. Or basically the attitude that I described of just being a little bit of a pretentious little fella. Number 15, how do you feel about not finishing a book? I feel fine. It's a thing that you should do. If you don't like the book, you are not enjoying it, you're not having a good experience, just eat that book out. No, just don't eat it, but you know what I mean. Don't finish it, it's okay. You cannot finish a book, it's allowed. Just try to limit it that a little bit. Don't do that to all the books that you don't like it, because sometimes it gets better and sometimes it gets so bad that it's really enjoyable. So don't choose it, because sometimes the train wrecks get really good. Number 16, should the author's personal life matter at all? No, 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 no. This is about books. You don't go to a grocery store and you stop going there because the cashier said something. You don't, no, just no. This is not high school anymore. This is about books and people doing a living. Even if they have certain opinions, different political views, different from yours, even if they did things that you do not approve, first of all, chances are that you're not doing that, not buying the book doesn't go to that much of anything. But that person doesn't live in the void. If that person doesn't have an income, you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this? Should that person not have an income just because their views are different? Now you can say, but it's a multimillionaire and everything. Sometimes things are not just black and white. That person can have said or done something that in our society is now wrong, but it may have done lots of good, may have supported very good causes, may have put money on researches from health, may have done lots of voluntary work. Plus, they may have kids or elderly people that families like the grandfather or father, elderly people basically that they are taking care of. So they need to keep their income and living, and so are you guys feeling what I'm saying? If you do that and tell everyone because you think everyone should not support that person, is it really fair for them, for their family, for the other things that they may be doing right on this world? Because if we go by that point and we just go see every person and put every person on a balance, most of us should be on the streets. None of us are saints. So can we just chill a little bit on that part and just read the books, just enjoy the books? It doesn't matter who that person that wrote the book supports or it's banging. Okay? It really doesn't matter. Or else you would have to do that to everything that you buy, every company you support, every time you refuel your gas tank, you are supporting things that are way worse than many are authors that just said something wrong on Twitter. Maybe you should rethink other things in your life if that's the hill you're gonna die on. Number 17. If you could only read one genre for the rest of your life, what would it be? Can I say classics? Please let me say classics. If I cannot say classics, I'm gonna say romance. And I don't want even to think about this because I want to read everything, so yeah. Number 18. Do you ever read a book without knowing anything about it? Yes, and you should do it too because it's a lot of fun. I don't think that it is completely possible to do on nonfiction because you can land a nonfiction that is a little bit for experts if you just pick one without knowing the level of it. I mean, you can't just pick one, start reading, see that it's way above your head, and then pick another book. So just go to a library, pick a book, and read it without knowing anything about it. Don't even look at the cover. Just go eeny, miny, mo, grab it, go sit. I mean, when you grab it, make sure it's the first one on the series if you are on fiction or first part of a non-fiction series, and then you just go sit and read it. I challenge you. It's amazing. I found really good books doing that on my library. Number 19. What author, genre, series, or culture can you just not get into, and why? I don't have a culture per se that I don't get into. Series, probably The Mortal Instruments. I tried and I don't think I'm going to try anymore. Genre, I don't remember anything. Authors, that's another thing. I have 2.5. The half one is Brandon Sanderson. I'm still trying to get into him, and I'm still gonna give him a couple of tries before I put it on that shelf. But it's starting to look that I might not like it. Another one that you guys have heard a lot of me talking about it, Stephen King. I'm sorry, Mr. King, but your stories are just bad and boring and predictable, and the books are way too big. They should be, most of them should be little tales instead of massive tomes. And just no, I can't. I'm still gonna try in the near future again. When more time has passed, I will give him another chance. Probably gonna regret it again, but I'm still gonna give it another chance. And the other one is Saramago. It's a Portuguese author. I don't even know if he's really Portuguese because I think he's born in Spain. I don't even know at this point. Anyway, Saramago. He doesn't write as you should write proper English. He creates his own rules. He uses less punctuations. His sentences are paragraphs, like literally the whole page paragraphs, and it's really bad for a person to dyslexia to try to read that. It's just bad. Plus, I don't find the things that they write about that, I don't find it interesting. I find it mostly boring and just, why am I reading this? So that's one that I'm gonna be one of the last things that I'm gonna try. I will first try Stephen King again before I get into trying Saramago again, because it's just so bad. And it enters in the problem that I have with the Portuguese culture, literature scene, that I don't want this. I don't know enough of it yet, even though I'm Portuguese. I know more about authors outside Portugal because I've been kicked in the butt quite a little bit of times from people. They don't intentionally kick me out of it, but it's the whole dynamic of it that kicks me out of it. So that's another video, and I still need to find and learn a little bit more to consolidate this idea, but I think that I don't think I'm wrong about this. But anyway, number 20, do you think everyone should read, and why? Yes, because it's funny, you learn things, you can quite possibly change your life. You become more empathic, and it's just really a good way to spend time with yourself and unwind. It's plus learning. You learn a lot. It's just amazing. Learning is magical. Come to the dark side. We have books, fandoms, all types of scenes, all types of shippings if you are into that, all types of thematics. Just can you? We can make cookies and tea. Probably also coffee. Not this house is not. It's a tea house, not a coffee house. But you know what I mean. Just come to this site and start reading with us. Reading real. Just start consuming all of those books. That good thing. My head is going to very silly places. I'm sorry. Anyway, well, this was faster. I didn't babble as much. That's good. So the video is not 100 hours long. So we're just gonna finish this with me and my sun-kissed skin and the fight with the sun. And in the second take of the philosophy of reading tag. I hope you guys had some fun hearing me answer to these questions. Please do this tag because I want to know your answers about this. And don't judge me too much for my answers. And that's all for now, guys. Bye.